All right, so I saw Fast 10 last night, and I actually didn't look at any previews or spoilers or anything like that. I've just enjoyed this franchise, so I went into it kind of blind, and my reaction is you'll see in just a second. But there are going to be spoilers in this as I talk about the movie and talk about kind of what I kind of know is to come. So if that's not for you, then I'll see you guys on the next video. Otherwise, stay tuned. All right. My name is John Delarose. I am a number one best-selling author, and that's why I can talk about these things from a writing perspective. I make comics and all that stuff too. This is my steampunk action adventure series. It's called The Adventures of Baron von Monocle, and I've got book 6 now up for pre-order. It's going to be releasing on June 21st. I've been working on this for a while. It's beautiful. It crushes it. If you like fast-paced action and adventure, you're going to absolutely enjoy this. So head to Amazon, and all my links are in the description below. Support the channel, guys. Really appreciate you for being there. Okay, here we are with Fast X, Fast 10. The road home begins. Okay, so, they started off like the end of the last movie with a little barbecue with the family, my family. You remember those memes going around with Fast 9. That was a pretty good marketing campaign by them to do that. It really doesn't seem like they have that going on this time with the marketing campaign. I've looked at the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's at about 50%. The critics hate it. Audience scores at like 80-something% right now. It's been the first weekend. I expect them to fluctuate a little bit. But obviously the audience likes it. And the reason the audience likes it is because everybody's attached to these characters, and they actually didn't do anything on a level where it would like bother the characters or like anything feels out of character. There's no like subverting expectations like they do with a lot of these franchises. That's why people actually like Fast and the Furious. That's why this has done so well over the course of 10 full movies. Even though the last, like, I'd say like after 6 or so, were they really necessary? Not so much. I mean, let's be honest. They've been escalating over and over again where they get more ridiculous and they do crazier things with cars every single time that kind of have gone to the point where it's jumped the shark to where it doesn't make sense. This happened in Fast 9, especially when they shot Ludacris out into space in a Pontiac. I mean, come on. And there's a lot of that in this movie where it's like, that can't actually happen. He would have died like 15,000 times over if this was reality. It doesn't matter how good of a driver he is. But it's fun, it's popcorn, and a lot of the action scenes look really good regardless. I thought the beginning with the bomb scene and everything on that, where they are actually driving and there's this bomb rolling towards the Vatican, they have to like kind of nudge it off course with their cars and all that, while ridiculous, was still a lot of fun. And watching him kind of shift his way backwards down steps in Rome was very enjoyable. And that was probably the most enjoyable scene out of the whole movie. To be honest, it gets ridiculous later on. We got Jason Momoa as a bad guy here, and I'm just going to scroll through some pictures as we try to get to some of this. There he is. And he plays this like flamboyant weirdo. I mean, I get he wanted to kind of just do something a little different. He wanted to really show he's not Aquaman or whatnot and do that. But it came across so forced and so cringe over the course of this. I get he's the bad guy. I get he's supposed to be cringe, but at the same time, it was a bit too much. And his whole deal is like, I guess his father was killed in Fast 5 in Rio. And now it's just like Fast 9 when John Cena was edited in as Dom's brother. And he was there all along. This guy was there all along. And they put him into kind of scenes tying back into Fast 5. A lot of ties back into Fast 5, as a matter of fact, as Dom's girlfriend's sister shows up during this. And there's a little too many family ties. I know the family theme and all that, but it's to the point where it's soap opera level at this point. Now, is that a big deal? I mean, not really, because these movies are not really something that takes themselves too seriously to begin with. So it kind of is okay on that level. But this guy goes and I'm not just going to kill you. I'm going to make you suffer. And they make him really bad because they're going after Dom's son. And he's going to take Dom's family from him over the course of this entire movie. So good plot line. I mean, that revenge plot line makes sense. Like I said, that he comes across as really cringe and forced. I think the acting is a little too over the top on this during this. It does progress pretty reasonably and as you would expect as the guy tries to kidnap Dom's son and they have to race to fight, of course. I'd say there's a lot more fighting than there is like racing and car driving in the course of this movie compared to the other Fast movies. Kind of odd on that front. Another addition to the cast was Brie Larson as Mr. Nobody's daughter. She's now a secret agent joining everybody on this, and she actually did a really good job, I thought. She was entertaining. She had a good character role in this, and it was a lot of fun. So it was all right. You see here some of the CGI. This was the Rome scene I was talking about with the battle here, and I thought that was a lot of fun. John Cena's got a cannon car right here, which is ridiculous. And I don't know. I think what happened is they've gone too over the top with a lot of their sort of cars in space and things like that. So now everything feels a little lower of stakes, even though the guy's going after the families than it did before, because they just kept escalating what the craziness was every single time. And now nothing's shocking on that level anymore. And so the big part to me that bothered me about this, and I guess this was told to people ahead of time, was that it's not a complete movie. It literally is just like a movie split in half. And so like they actually end it with like not Bruce Willis, Vin Diesel and his son about to like just get just flooded by some dam that's been bombed by Jason Momoa as the bad guy, and they're at the very bottom of it, and there's no way they're going to get out alive, right? And Ludacris and the like have been shot down in a plane. They're pretty much dead. And then Dom's girlfriend or wife or whatever at this point is going to be coming back, and it just ends. It literally just stops. So it's like one of those movies where it's like it really didn't finish as a movie. And I guess they designed this as a two-parter, which now at the premiere in Rome, Vin Diesel said that the studio came back and asked them for a trilogy of this. Of course they did, because these movies make money. And they make money because here's why. I can tell Hollywood right now, which is something they don't seem to realize in other movies. Even though this wasn't the best movie, I'd say this is probably the weakest of the franchise overall. And I felt like just like, okay, this is getting kind of tired at this point. It's getting kind of ridiculous. This villain's too much. It's obvious like they're trying to put the stars in with Brie Larson and Jason Momoa. It's like John Cena. A little too much of that. But the reason it still works is because the concept and theme of family, the concept and theme of caring about that, concept of theme of honor among thieves works really well. And then there's another big deal that like actually pushes throughout this entire movie. Dom keeps holding a cross that his wife gives to him over the course of this, and then you can do anything if you have faith. So the family thing was a joke from 9, but like in this one, they just kept saying that over and over again. They kept returning to the image of the cross, which I found really nice. I don't really see that in Hollywood very much, and it's nice to have Christian themes thrown into an actual heroic movie. That's pretty cool. So I applaud them for that over the course of this. And, I've been kind of negative and down on on it a little bit because I said it's a little over the top. But there's good parts and there's bad parts. This is kind of a mixed bag of a movie overall. And I think the pacing was, the normal that you'd get from a Fast and the Furious movie. I think they probably could have cut it by 20 minutes. Like most modern movies. I don't know why they just go for that 2:20 or 2:30 hour mark now. I think 2's plenty for something like this. And I wish they would have just wrapped things up and actually like just finished off the movie rather than left it just cliffhanger like this. I guess this makes it a 5-hour movie, when the next one comes in, I guess. And that's kind of leaves a sour taste in the mouth. But they did kind of like really push everything. And amazingly, they're telling another story that's actually pretty decent. And this revenge tale is actually pretty good. They have a reveal. The Rock is back in it. I know he was fighting with Vin Diesel. He's not going to be in the series anymore, etc. I don't know if that was kayfabe for marketing now. Now I'm starting to think about that. But The Rock does appear at the very end in it, and it's teased that he's going to be in the next installment pretty well here, which is pretty cool. That'll make things more fun for everybody. He is looking old, I got to tell you guys, which is like, oof, that hits me in the feels there because, it kind of sucks. We're all getting old. Overall, it's fine. Like I said, I think it's probably the weakest installment of the Fast and Furious franchise. But at the same time, like that's still light years beyond a lot of other movies out there. The action's ridiculous. The plotline's ridiculous. Don't expect everything to make sense. Just have your popcorn, have some fun, and you'll enjoy this pretty well. but it's nothing great and nothing to like rewatch or anything like that. I wouldn't say at this juncture. I think it's time for this franchise really to come to an end. I hope they just end it in the next one and don't actually make a 12. They don't need that. They don't need another trilogy just to have a trilogy. Please, just let something die for real and don't make endless continuations. I really hate that Hollywood does that a lot of the time. So overall, if you want to give this like a score out of 10, it's a 7. It's watchable. It's okay, but it's nothing exciting. Brie Larson, I said on Twitter, is probably the best part of this, and Jason Momoa is honestly probably the worst part of this. And that's it. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.